Hello everybody, welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T, as we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel throughout social media. We're going to get you out here well before the top of the hour. Give you guys enough time to get those bets in for the primetime games, and that's what we do here on the Drive-Thru Monday through Friday here at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It's our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And deliver those winners, our professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us for today. All right, we got Chris Rivolo. It's Wednesdays with Mitch. Big Al McMorty. Got Wayne Scott, Alan Enos, Rod Zawacki. Dana Lane will sign in bottom of the hour. Here's how the lineup for this evening. Ruffalo, Mitch, McMorty, Scott, Enos, Zawacki, Lane, and then I will close this one out. All right, we got two games on the board. NBA with play-in round games. Also a few on the ice. Still some baseball in prime time. So let's get this one underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Chris Ruffalo. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Catch the morning show every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time with Chris, Mitch, and Rod Zawacki. Also part of the Puck Dogs video series with Rod Zawacki with those NHL videos on an everyday basis when there's action on the ice. So let's get in Chris right now. Chris, what's happening? You're on mute there, Chris.
Hey, there you go. Sorry, how are you doing? I'm just enjoying the daytime baseball. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. A lot of daytime baseball today. We've got a lot of action still going on here tonight, this afternoon. But we'll go look at the game here beginning in about half an hour from now. Orioles here at home to the Athletics. Orioles, as you know, will be big favorites against this sorry A's team, total 9.
Yeah, Tony, sorry the A's have been. I still think they can do something here to help us contribute to what my play is going to be, and that's going to be the over 9 runs. You just look at these two starting pitchers, Ken Waldichuk and Dean Kramer. Kramer, he has had a couple of tough outings. Again, much tougher than what he's up against here against the Oakland A's. He's faced the Yankees and the Boston Red Sox and given up 9 runs over 8 innings of work. But look no further to struggles than Ken Waldichuk for the Oakland A's. 14 runs allowed in 9 2/3 innings. He's given up 7 home runs. And each of these pitchers has had a game so far this season where the game has gone into double digits by the 5th inning. So these are two pitchers that, definitely been having a hard time giving up the runs. You can justify it for Kramer because he's played a little bit of a tougher opposition. I think the Orioles should be able to score at will here against Ken Waldichuk, and I look for the A's to be able to contribute a few runs here to get us up and over this total of 9. I was surprised it didn't open at 9.5 or even 10, so I'm going to roll with the over 9 in this one.
All right, Chris here on over the total of 9 here at Athletics and Orioles. As you know, starting pitchers don't pitch a full 9. Now you'll probably get a few innings here from Waldichuk. But then again, you look at this Oakland bullpen ERA approaching 6 on the road. It's been even horrible, 9.
Yeah, and like I said, the reason I mentioned the first 5 is because, Tony, like you said, you probably won't get a full 9 innings from Waldichuk or Kramer, but you haven't even needed 5 in a couple of these spots to even get into that double-digit range. So. I think that the runs can come early and often in this one, Tony. Like you said, the bullpen for the Oakland A's has not been good at all. Baltimore's has been a little bit better, but again, we're only takes a couple of runs to all of a sudden turn this from and game that's sitting at 7 runs all the way up to 9 or 10. We've seen it happen 3-4 runs in the half of an inning in the blink of an eye. So I think there's great value here with the total only sitting at 9.
All right, Chris here, Athletics Orioles over total of 9. This one to have a start time here of 6:35 Eastern Time, about half an hour away. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs from tonight's action. We do have some baseball on the board here in prime time. Couple from the NBA, a few on the ice here. We're almost ready to close out this NHL season. Great results in the NHL, 1,258 units of profit. Also showing great profit over the last 7 days, 822 units. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
On Wednesday, I got my $19 MLB pickoff play. Also got a standalone NBA play sold as well, and you can get both of those with a bonus MLB plays, part of my Hoops and Homers 3-pack. And I also got a couple of NHL plays up for long-term subscribers as well at Pick Dogs.
Got it, guys. Get on board with Chris Ruffalo. You see the great results in NHL. Great results last 7 days is $19 pickoff play or the long-term pass. Remember that 1-month pass will get you all of Chris's plays for the NBA playoffs into the second round as well of the NHL playoffs with that 1-month pass. Promo code PICK. Save yourself 15% off. All right, Chris, as always, great having you on the show. See that success. We'll catch up with you again next week. But you do a lot over at Pick Dogs. We catch your videos every single day. And, of course, the morning show and your Puck Dogs video series with Rod.
Yeah, Rod and I brushing up for the NHL playoffs. Started dipping my toes into the home run prop waters as well as those daily game preview videos like you mentioned, Tony. So, yeah, tons of content as well as all the live shows at Pick Dogs. And, make sure you subscribe and get all the notifications when those videos go live.
That's right. Get them live. Catch them live. Get the best numbers. All right, Chris, have a great night. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Take it easy.
You got it. Chris Rivolo here on the drive. Let's continue on. We got some NBA on the board next with Mitch. You know where to find Mitch every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time, right here with the morning show, as he's joined by Chris and, of course, with Rod Zawacki. And, of course, don't forget the Betting Tools show and the 7 picks in 5 minutes from Mitch. Mitch, ready to roll. Mitch, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. I also do the Nerfy show. So
the Nerfy show, that's right.
I wasn't doing enough. I figured I'd add. I also got power rankings that I've been doing on Mondays as well for Major League Baseball. That's my longest video I've ever done. And as far as and of course I do it in one take, so nothing easy about it, but I enjoy doing it. So.
Yep, you get it done in one take. And just before we start, who's your top team?
Right now, well, it has to be the Rays.
Rays, right?
They're undefeated, but you look at some of the other teams in high up in the rankings, the Brewers, the Diamondbacks, who are playing each other right now, and then because those teams are winning and they're making money. Even though the Rays, obviously haven't lost a game yet. It's if you bet the Diamondbacks every single game, you've actually made more money than betting on the Rays every single game, just because of the odds that we've been getting on the D-backs. Those series against the Dodgers just were major payers for Arizona, and they're looking at another win here today. I had the Brewers in that one, but I had it in before the pitching change happened, and it's going to happen in baseball. It got me in April. I mean, normally you expect that in July or August, but they got me in right here in April with Brandon Woodruff being scratched and junk being put on the mound.
The old Angel Junk. The old Angel Junk coming off the scrap heap here, starting his year this year in AAA. Late call up. All right, Mitch, here we go. NBA play-in round. A winner advances to the play-in to the playoffs on Friday. Loser goes home. Pelicans here hosting the Thunder. Pelicans laying 5.5, total 226.
Yeah. Winner playing for that all luxury paid vacation to Minnesota on Friday night. And loser does go home. And the thing about these elimination games is these are, nobody wants to go home. I mean, the Thunder would be well served by the higher draft choice, no doubt about it. But they don't want to go home. And this is a team that we've seen throughout the years not really prepared to just go home and lay down. And I don't expect them to lay down here in this game. The Thunder haven't been the cover team that they were, earlier this season or for most of last season, but they have still covered plenty. And I'll tell you who they cover plenty against is the New Orleans Pelicans. They just match up extremely well against them. And while the Pelicans have just a boatload of trends going up and down the board here, the trends that are really lousy for the Pelicans are those against the Thunder. 0-6 against the number in New Orleans, 4-10 against the Thunder overall in their last 14 meetings. Something tells me that this game's going to be pretty tight. The games last night were tight. I think these games tonight are going to be even tighter because in these games, these are true elimination games. And while a draft choice sounds attractive to the fan base, to the players on the team, a draft choice is just another guy they got to beat out for a roster spot, another guy they got to compete for that salary cap with. So expect the Thunder to leave it all out on the ice tonight. I like the Thunder in this one.
All right, Mitch here on the Thunder plus 5.5 here against the Pelicans. I know the Thunder's had some issues where they've been favored and failing to cover. They had some really struggles here because some of the lesser teams in the league needed wins and just squeaking one. I think they squeaked by Detroit on a last-minute shot. I think they might have lost to Orlando, I think it was. But when you get them in this underdog spot, especially on the road, they've still been pretty good here. Looking at some of the numbers here, 20-11 as a road dog, also 23-12 against Southwest Division.
Yeah, 16-25 straight up on the road, but 21-17-3 against the number. And of course, if you're shopping lines, you're probably better than that even. It's like I'm big on my videos about the shopping of the lines because I think a lot of people are just leaving a lot of money on the table. I see more people that are new to betting now than ever before in our YouTube comments. I read the comments and you can tell who the newbies are. And then you have the guys who are winning, saying they're winning, tens of thousands of dollars and all this stuff. Tony and I have been at this long enough that we know that, if you're winning $10,000, $20,000 bets, $30,000 bets, and you keep saying you're making it at FanDuel or DraftKings, you're a liar because you start hitting $20,000 or $30,000 bets at FanDuel and DraftKings. What they do is they close your account down.
Yeah.
They knock your limits down to like $400 and then they close your account down. That's what they do. So we've all had that done to us. We know what it's like, and I know the U.S. books no different, on that. So take the comments for what they are. Some people sometimes have some good information in there. Other people, I'm just not even sure what they're talking about half the time. So I didn't do YouTube for a very long time because of the comments, but now
that's right. You were pretty late to the game on YouTube. I remember that.
Yeah, I was always on doing my dog of the day,
yeah.
And then I moved off of YouTube just because of the comments and the messages and all the other stuff. I just was like, why am I doing this, for free? And so I moved off of YouTube, and then I just came back on about 2 years ago.
That's right.
And and that's only because of Johnny Shithead Detroit over at Wager Talk, the biggest loser in the planet, just a turd. Calling me out, saying that they had 50,000 subscribers. At the time I had 0, right? Because I didn't even have a channel. How I was beneath them. So that's all it takes is for someone to say that to me, and showed them who's boss. Passed them like they were standing still, and we'll continue to pound them into the earth.
Yeah, absolutely. Mitch here on Thunder plus 5.5. This one have a start time. This is your late game, 9:30 Eastern time over on ESPN. All right, Mitch, we saw some games this afternoon here. Astros, the big trend here, Astros against lefties. They didn't disappoint. They pounded Pirates 7-zip.
I think the thing about the Astros that we have to remember also is that last year without Jose Altuve in the lineup, they weren't so good. They only went on that run at the end of the year once Altuve got back in. So without Altuve, without Bradley, this is not the Astros that we're going to be seeing. Imagine this lineup with Altuve and Bradley in there with Abreu at first base and, with the regular cast of characters, the World Series MVP and all the other guys. I think the Astros are going to be just fine.
White Sox, Twins late here. It was 1-0, and of course they got the few runs late here. They hold on 3-1 against the White Sox.
Yeah, it was an interesting series, for the White Sox and the Twins. I think the Central's going to be the Central once again. I think it's going to come down to late, but right now the Guardians look to be the best team in the Central. They just have the best pitching staff right now, and I think the White Sox, they have trouble. Their bullpen is just not good enough.
And we gotta get Giolito.
That's the problem there. In Minnesota, I'm not a big Sonny Gray guy, but so far so good, for him.
And Lopez over there as well, no doubt. We go here with the next. Whoops, let's get back to our screen that we were on before. Here, we're back here with Mitch. Let's get back here. That's what happens. I hit the wrong button. we've all been in that. We've all done that before, Mitch. Let's get back here to our breakdown here. Yankees, Guardians. Yankees were down 3-0 in this game early, and then they had a nice little comeback.
The Yankees are going to be tough this season, no doubt about it. They caught an easy matchup here, and they caught actually the soft part of the Guardians rotation in this series. They did face Shane Bieber. But outside of that, it was Gaddis, and then today, I don't even know what the guy's name was. I never even heard of him before. And the Yankees, I didn't love their starter in this one either. But like you said to Chris, rarely does the starting pitcher even factor these days. It's after 5 innings, it's a different game.
No doubt about that. Padres and Mets. Padres with that big two-run home run in the first inning by Soto, but the Mets stormed back with the win 5-2.
Soto really struggling with the pitch clock is what he said. What he said this season is that he's struggling with the clock and the timing and everything, still trying to put it together. I think the Mets, we'll have to see. Normally they have some breakdowns in the pitching staff. Justin Verlander still hasn't made it out to the mound for them. So, obviously they're expecting big things out of him. But I think, you start Dave Peterson and McGill and, Carrasco, and you're asking for trouble. You're just asking for it. They do have a great lineup, though.
Mariners and Cubs. Mariners get one on them, 5-2.
Yeah, the Mariners are one of those teams that made the late run last year. They made the trade for Castillo at the trade deadline, and it really has paid dividends. Most people thought that the Reds got the best end of that deal, but the Mariners are seeing dividends from that Castillo trade. Logan Gilbert, I thought was the weak link in the Mariners rotation this year, but actually he's kind of come through for them. So maybe he's outpitched the Mitch scale on that one.
High scoring. Didn't get to the total, though. It was very hot. It was 12.5, 13. Cardinals 7-4.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. This series was crazy. This one roasted me last night as the Rockies were up 6-2 and gave it up. I knew they were gonna when they didn't score when they had the bases loaded, and then they had the bases. Then the Cardinals got the bases loaded, and they decided to throw one right over the middle of the plate to Arenado. Never a good idea, and kind of carried over into today's game. We saw the same thing where the Rockies look to be playing right with the Cardinals, and then they throw one right over the middle of the plate, and it's going to go into the stands.
Brewers and D-backs here, top of the night. D-backs again here, 7-3.
Yeah, this one is over, and the D-backs win this game. And the thing about this one is that the Brewers did have the scratch of Woodruff, and now it's like the rotation is going to be upset. I think Junk and Woodruff, two totally different pitchers. Obviously going at this, and the Diamondbacks. Like I said before, if you bet on the Diamondbacks every single game, you've won more money than on any other team in baseball this season, and they've just continued to roll. We saw it at the end of last season. They were putting it together, and it's kind of carried over into this year. They have a good pitching staff. They've got Gallen at the top end of it, too, and I'd expect them to be right in the mix.
Marlins in progress, round 2-2 here. Marlins and the Phillies here, top of the ninth.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler is an overrated piece of shit. I don't understand why this guy is given basically the DeGrom treatment, and when he's never put together anything like that. He's more of a guy that ends up being the tough luck loser, but in this one, he's considered to be one or two in the rotation, and he ends up drawing against Cabrera in this matchup, which you would think would be one that favored the Phillies, but Wheeler giving up run here, run there. If you're going to be number one or two in the rotation, you got to eventually pitch a shutout and hold them down, and Wheeler was unable to do that. In fact, I think the Phillies have kind of lucked out to even be in this position right here. You got a runner on first with the Marlins, an 0-2 count.
Nationals and Angels here, bottom eighth here. Angels clinging to that 3-2 lead.
Mackenzie Gore pitched really well in this game for the Nationals, and he was the guy, the key player in the Soto trade. So it's like I think the Nationals knew what they were doing in that one. They might be in trouble here. They had a shot at Canning and just weren't able to hold on. They were up 2-1 when Canning was in. They needed to get 4 or 5 off of him. They couldn't do it. So they're probably going to go down here at a big price. I wish I would have taken the run line instead of playing the Nationals straight up.
We just end the eighth here, heading to the ninth here, 3-2 Angels. All right, Mitch, it's always great to have you here on the show. Anything else going on over at Pick Dog Sports Chat?
We got a lot going on at Pick Dogs and Sports Chat. We're going to have some new stuff going on for the NBA, and we have a bunch of other stuff going on behind the scenes as well. I'll be hopefully announcing some of that stuff in the very near future, and everything else, anything that you guys want to see, by all means, let us know. We have one new capper on the way, Nick Menken. He's on the site now. He's been picking pretty well as a new guy, and I picked him up from a lesser site, and he had reached out to me, and I just think that I'm a believer in it. In what we're doing here at Pick Dogs. I don't call it the Pick Dogs way or anything like that. But I think, you take some people that are on other sites and you say, you know what, you want to be on other sites, you be on other sites, and you're part of our Pick Dogs team too. And we kind of work together. And then we have other guys that we kind of bring up through the ranks, and those guys have done really nicely as well. The Ron Romanellis, the Chris Ruffalo's, and Jay Briggs types. And I think, we're going to continue to do it this way. I think that there's a lot of good cappers out there. I just think that a lot of them are not discovered yet. I'd way rather have a Jay Briggs or a Ron Romanelli than a Jesse Shuley any day of the week.
There you go from Mitch. All right, Mitch, as always, a great
not to single anybody out. I could name about 20 other guys I'd rather have them instead of also.
That's right. All right, Mitch, have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again next week.
Have a great weekend. Have a great week, Tony, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Mitch here on The Drive. Let's continue here on The Drive. It's time for Big Al McMorty. Catch him over at Pick Dog Stream. Got some NBA here again from Big Al. Ready to roll. Big Al, how you doing?
Pretty good. How's my favorite handicapper on this Wednesday?
Thank you very much. Doing great tonight. We're getting ready for this play-in game here. Raptors and the Bulls here. Toronto now up to 6 here. Total 213.
Yeah, I mean, both of the play-in games are not playoff games yet. Both of the play-in games went under the total last night, Tony, and that's continued a trend in these play-in games going back to when they started in 2021. The under is now 10-3. with a push. Even one of the 3 games which went over the total back in 2021, the Grizzlies won in overtime against the Warriors. That game only went over the total due to overtime. It was 99-99 at the end of regulation. So, but for overtime, the unders would be 11-2-1. So that's the way I'm going to look in this game here between Toronto and Chicago. These 2 teams have met 3 times already this year. All 3 games went under the total. Of the Raptors' last 41 postseason games, they've gone under 27-14, and even better, the Chicago Bulls are now under 9 straight postseason games. So I'm going to take this under the total. I know it's come down. It opened at 216. It's down to 212.5, 213. But I still think the value's on the under.
Yeah, value there from Big Al here. Yeah, you can do your shopping. As Mitch said, do your shopping because I am seeing 212.5, 213s. And in this day and age, we used to talk about this when there was no U.S. sports books, so there's really no excuse not to shop.
No, there's no excuse not to shop. There's never been an excuse not to shop. I mean, I guess in the old days, it might be tough if you had to find a bookie and you had to, ask your friends and to get set up with his bookie, and then it might be tougher. But now, ever since offshore sports books in 1996, there's been no reason not to shop.
Absolutely. Do your shopping, get the best numbers. Right, Big Out here, Raptors Bulls under 212.5. This one have a start time of 7 Eastern time over on ESPN. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for tonight's action. Of course, 2 NBA games on the board. We still have some baseball to begin here. A few games starting about 10 minutes from now. A few on the ice. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
I've got 1 hockey play tonight. I had 2 plays last night. We went 2-0 in hockey. I've got 1 hockey play today. I'm going to have at least 1, possibly 2 hockey plays tomorrow on Thursday. And baseball, we'll get going any day now.
Get ready with Big Al. Get on board with Big Al McWordy over at Pick Dogs Premium. Get on board with that big hockey play. 1 month pass will get you all Big Al's Premiums played for 30 days here. NBA, that'll get you through the second round of the NBA playoffs as well as second round of NHL playoffs. Some baseball as well with that 1 month pass. Promo code PICK at checkout will save you 15% off. Add a second capper with that 2-for-1 capper promotion. Even greater value there. All right, Big Al, as always, great having you on the show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
Yeah, talk to you on Thursday. Thanks so much, Tony.
You got a Big Al McMorty here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you missed a pick, we're seeing a lot of people sign in right now. We will have a recap at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's go ahead and welcome in Wayne Scott. You'll catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. We'll bring in Wayne right now. I think we're ready to roll here with Wayne Scott. Let's bring him in right now. Let's see where to go here. We are now, actually, I was bringing in Wayne. I just want to announcement. We are going on the drive-thru. We're going to kind of stick to against the spread and totals on games and money lines. No more on the props. If the capper wants to give a prop, he can give it in addition to his ATS or total or money line play. So that's how we're going to roll here on the drive-thru. So we'll accept the props and player props and whatnot, but only in addition to an against the spread, money line, or total selection. And we will, at some points like today, have some duplicates because of the size of the betting board. And of course, some of us don't do hockey. So you're going to get another one here. Pelicans and Thunder tonight. Wayne here, we see the Pelicans favorite here, total 225.5.
Yes, sir. We're going to hop on the total on this one. And sort of like Big Al just alluded to, man, we're going to be on the under, man. A lot of these playing games have been going under. We seen both of them go under yesterday. We even seen an overtime game. This still went under the total yesterday. These teams have met up 4 times, and the under is 3-1 to the under. These teams are both 4-6 in the last 10 to the under. Both of these teams have an over 50%. OKC is 20-21 to the under when they're on the road, and they are on the road tonight. And the Pelicans are 18-23 to the under on the season. The under is 8-1 in the last 9 home games for the Pelicans when they're playing somebody with a road record of 500. The Pelicans are ranked 9th in defense, and they play even better defense at home, allowing only 109 at home on the season. And this OKC team, they do well themselves on defense. They're a top scoring offensive team, but they score a lot more when they're at home. So I'm loving the under in this one right here today.
All right, Wayne here, Thunder Pelicans under 226.5. Yeah, with this Thunder team, they defend well. And if you looked at their performance here for the Thunder on the road since the All-Star break, they've really struggled shooting the basketball. Just 43% overall, 36% from 3, which is a little bit below average here for this Thunder team. So they, again, and we knew Shea's in the lineup, but you can isolate Shea a little bit. Who else can hurt you there from OKC?
Exactly. So they're not shooting the three from well, and it's not going to bode well against the Pelicans. They're the number one in 3-point defense. So as I mentioned, they're ninth in defense overall, but in 3-point defense, they defended three very well from the perimeter. And also, I didn't mention, but OKC, like you said, they're playing great defense as of late in the last three games. They're only allowing 111, and I just love the under. You just go back to the last two games and the style of play they played. New Orleans was only able to score 96. OKC only 110. The game before that, OKC was only able to score 100 points, and New Orleans 103. I'm loving the under here today.
All right, Wayne here. Thunder Pelicans under 226.5. This would have a start time 9:30 Eastern time on ESPN. All right, Wayne, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs from tonight's action. Of course, on the board tonight, too, from the NBA. We still have some baseball. Got a few games ready to start here in about 10 minutes. A few on the ice. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, I had two MLBs. One to set to go off here at 6:40, and one on the early game. I got my long-term pass over there for the NBA playoffs and play-in. So if you want every play that I'm going to drop in the NBA while it's left, while the play-in and playoffs are going on, go over there and scoop that up. And yeah, long-term guys, always 3-day, 7-day, monthly. Pair me up one of these cappers, and let's cash out this rest of this month.
That's right, guys. Got Wayne's got over at Pick Dogs Premium. Cash out with Wayne. He's got an MLB Play of the Day up there for you. That's his $19 premium play up there as well. Long-term passes, NBA full playoff pass up there. Affordably priced right now from Wayne. The entire NBA here, all his premium plays from the NBA playoffs all the way to the final game of the NBA Finals. We got another 2 months of NBA playoffs here because we usually finish this in the middle of June. So get on board. Pick is the promo code. You'll save 15% off. It's a pretty good discount off that NBA playoff pass. All right, Wayne, as always, great having you show. Have yourself a great evening. We'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, take care, Tony T. Take care, Pick Dog family. Y'all enjoy, and let's cash out tonight.
Cash out tonight indeed. Wayne Scott here on the drive-thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It's time for El Nino's. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Of course, we'll bring in El right now, having a great start to the baseball season. You know he likes his baseball out there in the Tampa Bay area. Of course, that's where the Rays have been playing. Well, maybe he's been playing the Rays every night. We don't know. I haven't looked at his game by game, but you can when you check out El Nino's profile page. I'm sorry if it's wrong, El. We got to get El Nino's, not Big Al McMorty. Then we continue to look for El Nino's. Actually, no, El Nino's today is on Skype. That's right. We got him in the Skype world. There you go, El Nino's. Got to find you on Skype.
What's up, Tony? How you doing?
Doing great. Speaking of Rays, it's the Rays again. Here we go. El Nino's with the Rays hosting. This game starts in a few minutes. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm on the Rays here. You said I was trying to find a later game, but as you mentioned earlier on the show, not too many games to choose from tonight. So, yeah, I'm on the Rays here tonight. Yeah, I actually wrote them game 2 until the start of this series, so I kind of showed some respect to the Red Sox and obviously was wrong to do that. And again, still respecting this Red Sox team who's got a pretty good lineup. But unfortunately for them, Chris Sale hasn't quite been himself this year. And these Rays had been hitting him well even before his struggles. So not only that, but they also played the Red Sox really well before they started playing this well themselves. They've won 20 of the last 26 meetings in Tampa against the Red Sox. And Taj Bradley will be making his MLB debut for the Rays. Another thing that I was kind of, didn't want to go all in, I guess, on an MLB debut. But we looked at a highly ranked prospect yesterday, worked out for us. Here's another highly ranked prospect, and again, we've seen some good pitchers come out of this ball club, and looks like he'll be the next one in line. And not the easiest matchup for him, I guess, against a pretty decent lineup, but I think he does well enough, and the Rays give him enough run support here to earn us the win. So I'm on the Rays on the money line here.
All right, El Nino says Rays here on the money line. Now again, Chris Sale, not off to that good impressive start. Wasn't this sharp as well last season here. We saw a little bit of dip in velocity too.
Yeah, well, he didn't pitch much. He's only pitched 5.2 innings last season, 42.2 innings the season before that. So it's really been since 2019 that we've seen him work a full season, and I guess that's showing so far this season.
All right, El Nino's here. Rays minus 125 against Red Sox. This one begins in a few minutes. El Nino's again with those right up to the minute games. All right, El Nino's. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs for the night's action. Of course, we have baseball in prime time. We've got some 2 NBA games, a few on the ice. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Got a 3-pack with my best bet in the NBA and MLB and NHL. Got a 3-pack in the MLB. Got my $19 play in the NBA and my best bet in the NHL as well. But again, best way to go if you want all the plays is getting one of those long-term or 2-for-1 capper specials.
That's right, guys. Get on board with the El Ninos over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results here in MLB, so get on board. You can also go long-term. He has a 3 or 7 or a 1-month all sports pass. All of El Ninos Premium plays for a month. Includes all of his baseball. Remember, the NBA and NHL playoffs through the second round. Pick is a promo code. You'll save 15% off. You can also add a second capper with a 2-for-1 capper. It's even greater value there. All right, El Ninos, as always, great having the show. Keep up that great success, and we'll catch up with you again tomorrow.
All right, thanks, Tony. Have a good one.
All right, El Ninos here on the drive to. Let's continue on here on the show, guys. If you miss a pick, we will recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here. Up next, Rod Zawacki. Let's bring in Rod right now. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much, Tony. Enjoying my Wednesday. Enjoyed a little bit of daytime baseball as well.
Yeah,
I have one play on it, and got the Twins late again, just like we had yesterday. Got the Twins again.
Yeah, the Twins again coming through. They're attacking on some runs late in that game and holding on for that 3-1 win. And tonight we go to the ice. This one's important for Dallas here, as they will be on the road against the Blues on TNT. Dallas 165, total 6.5.
Yeah, you look. This is the first half of back-to-back with the Stars and the Blues. They play one game tonight, and they play another game tomorrow night. And you're looking goal for the Stars in this one, and you're gonna get Wedgwood in goal for this one. Going to make his second start back from injury, and I like it because he's looked pretty good when he came back in his one start from being injured. And his rehab from the AHL definitely popped back up. You look his numbers on the season, he's got a 276 goals against average and a 916 save percentages in the games that he has played this season. Trust me, I know Wedgwood. I heckled the guy, and he turned around and shut us out and beat us in Edmonton. So I know all about Wedgwood. Solid goalie there. And you look at the Blues, you got Joel Heffer getting the start for the Blues. He's young and up and comer. These Blues are just breeding goalies. Ville Husso was the last up and comer. They traded him for Detroit, and now we got Joel Offer coming up. And man, he looked real good. 279 goals against average, 915 save percentage. Very respectable for what I think is the future of this Blues goalie department. Is Bennington. We know what he can be. He's very he's looking like Hextall, like back in the day, where he's doesn't take much to set him off, and he goes a little bit haywire. Both teams, you look 2-1 to the under in the last 3 games. This is definitely going to be a big game for Dallas. As you said, they're still fighting for the Central Division with Colorado. So, big game here. It's definitely going to feel like a playoff game. I like the under. You look at the last 10 meetings. Surprisingly, you figure you might see some goals. Now, 8-2 the last 10 meetings to that under. And the lone meeting this season finished 4-2 for the Dallas Stars, which again, under that total. And surprisingly, that lone meeting this season, guess who was in that for the Dallas Stars? Wedgwood. Held the the Blues to 1 goal in that one. So same thing. We're gonna repeat it. Take the under 6.5 in this one.
All right, Rod here says under, Stars and Blues under a 6.5. A Stars team that, they've really played well defensively. You've seen them down the stretch here, giving up 1 goal here to the likes of Nashville, Philly. Vegas was the one that gets your attention. You know, Detroit, this team's out of it. But they have played well defensively. They had that loss against Colorado. How do you see Dallas's playoff chances when they get in?
I think they're pretty good. They had some injuries that they've been dealing with, and they've got some guys back. Other than that, it looks like Marchment is the only guy that's left out of the injury, and I think he's just about getting ready to be back for these playoffs. And getting Wedgwood in here some work is definitely good to see, because they definitely had to ride Ottinger coming down the stretch. How do I think I see this Stars team? I think it could be Dallas Stars, Edmonton Oilers, Western Final.
Wow, there you go. There you go from Rod Zawacki. They do have some of those props out there. Predict the Western Conference Final. There you go. That would be a nice little payoff.
Little bonus for you, because I watch out the Stars team. I know how they can play. They got lots of veterans. Jamie Benn on that team, and I remember his loss to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the bubble. I think they had to drag him out of the locker room. He didn't want to leave. He was very distraught. And this team is, as you said, look, they've turned it on, playing their defensive style hockey over the last few games. And watch out for the Dallas Stars. It could be a sleeper team in these playoffs.
Keep an eye on these Stars. Stars, Blues under 6.5. This one will have a start time here, 7:40 Eastern time, game 1 on TNT. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge for tonight's action. Of course, tonight we have a couple on the board from the NBA. These two play-in rounds going off. Sudden death here tonight as well. Team is eliminated. The winner will play Friday to get in as an 8th seed. Still some baseball on the board here in prime time. What do you have going on over at Pick Dodge Premium?
And over at Pick Dogs Premium tonight, I've got my $19 NHL Sniper play. We're looking for a 5th straight in that one. Nice 4-0 run there. Or you can get that play included in my Wacky Wednesday triple, where you get my top-rated play in the NBA, the MLB, and as I just stated, the NHL Sniper play included in that triple package. Or right now, as we said, playoffs are right around the corner with the NHL. Grab my season pass. We're on a nice 13-7 run in the NHL heading into these playoffs, where we're going to crush it. Seeing the NHL very clearly heading into these playoffs, I'm really excited on who's going to win and make us some money, and who's going to host Lord Standing at the end of the season. Grab my NHL pass, $199. Use that promo code PICK at checkout. Save 15% off that, and definitely make that money back easily for you, plus some. Just pack our pockets on the ice with cold, hard cash this season. I'm excited. I can't wait.
I can't wait, guys. Get on board with Rod Zawacki over Pick Dogs Premium. Long-term pass, the way to go. Pick is the promo code. Access Rod's page. Click the link you see in the description. Click the All Cappers tab. You'll find Rod and get signed up. All right, Rod. Of course, we can catch you all. Have a great night. Catch up with you again on Steak Friday. But, of course, we can catch you on the morning show, and as well as the video series, The Puck Dogs, with those NHL videos with you and Chris.
Yeah, definitely another loaded card tomorrow. Check out those videos, like, subscribe. That way you get notified when those videos get released. That me and Chris shoot. Love shooting those. We're definitely, if you look at the numbers, me and Chris the last week, definitely heating up heading to the NHL. Check out the Puck Dogs. And definitely tune on in the morning. As Mitch said, it'll either be 10:30 or 11. Whatever time. But either way, he said by tomorrow morning we'll have a set time for the morning show. But definitely tune in. Always a good time. Between 10:30 and 11 Eastern. See, that's why you hit that like button. You get notified when we go live, and you don't miss out on any of that morning show content from me, Mitch, and Chris.
That's
definitely.
Right,
you have yourself a good night, Tony. And I will see you on Steak Friday.
See you on Steak Friday. Have a great night. Rod Zawacki here on the drive-thru. Guys, you missed a pick. We're going to recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Up next, Dana Lane. Catch him over at Pick Dogs Premium. Dana's been doing great work up there. You've seen his records over on the site. I think we're ready to roll here. We'll bring Dana in right now. Dana, what's happening?
Hey, Tony. How you doing, man?
Doing awesome. All right, here we go tonight. Baseball at Eastern time features the Rangers hosting the Royals. Rangers $1.70, total of 9.
Yeah, we've already seen the Royals get swept once this year, but still we know pretty much how difficult it is for a team to sweep another. And I still have some question marks about the Rangers. I know they're off to their best start in 10 years, and I still have some question marks, especially down the road. We saw last night that Texas won their first game of the season easily, and then or of the series easily. And then last night it was a little bit more difficult. In fact, Kansas City really had this game in the bag in extra innings. They were down the whole game, scored that run in the 10th to take the lead. But I mean, they were an out away from winning this game last night. And Scott Barlow decides to throw his third straight sinker and throws it right in the middle of the plate. And of course, Garcia slapped one right up the middle, and that gave the Rangers the tie, and then they hit a home run in the extra innings to win. So a lot of times when you're handicapping, I like to see, Kansas City lost the game, but how did they lose the game? Are they in it? Were they was this a team that was behind and didn't quit and came back? And yes, you can check those boxes for Kansas City in every one of those categories. last night. I like the way this team plays. And Tony, I mean, they're not hitting the ball well. But are there signs that they are going to hit the ball hit well? Yeah, it certainly is. We saw last night. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is going to have a fantastic night tonight against Eovaldi, who has had troubles not only against the top 1 through 4 hitters in lineups through 2 games, granted, but he's also had trouble against the top guy in the lineup. In fact, the top guy in the lineup is hitting 500 against Eovaldi through 2 starts so far. And I think Witt, even though he's hitting under 200, I think he's going to be primed for a big game, and I think that's going to set the table for the rest of the Royals to score some runs tonight. And getting $1.44 or $1.45, depending on where you shop, I mean, that to me is something I'm going to take advantage of. Also, I mean, the injury to Corey Seager, I mean, that cannot be that just brushed aside as something that doesn't matter. I mean, Seager's hitting .359 this year, and now Josh Smith is going to come in and take his spot for almost a month. I think Seager is going to be out a month with that hamstring injury. So you're taking Seager out of the lineup, who's hitting well over .350, and replacing him with a .197 career hitter. I think that's going to be a major hole in the Rangers lineup, and I think that's going to start tonight. So that 144 is a pretty attractive option for me.
All right, we've got Dana here on Royals plus 148 here against the Rangers. Brad Keller showed pretty well here so far in his few outings. He's had 2 outings. There's 3 earned runs in 10 innings with 9 strikeouts. So the walk's a little bit high though.
Yeah, well, that's nothing different. That's nothing new for Brad Keller. And not only is his walks high in his last start against the Giants, which I thought was terrific. The only thing with Keller, Tony, is I always want him to go deeper in the games, and he's just not. He's going to be a guy that's going to throw a lot of pitches, and I think he threw 94, 95 pitches against the Giants in their 3-1 win. And that did not even get them into the 6th inning. That's way too many pitchers. They are going to need a good effort from Keller tonight, who I always have thought has tremendous stuff. And I've always been a big Brad Keller fan. He's statistically been average at best, and really has never lived up to what I thought he was going to be. But I'm always pretty confident when I have my money behind him, because I think he does have decent stuff. And, like you said, the walks have been an issue for him. Throws too many pitches. 94 pitches should get you near that, 6-7 inning, not that 5-6 inning mark. And I think that's what we're looking for tonight out of Keller. But against the Giants, he was much better. His ground ball to fly ball ratio was 11-5. Remember that game against the Twins, his first game of the year, it was 6-6. So it looked a lot better against the Giants, looked more comfortable, and I expect to see that Brad Keller tonight.
All right, Dana here on the Royals plus 148 there against the Rangers. We know, Dana, if you followed him throughout the years, likes those Pirates. That injury to Cruz, man, that to suck big time, man. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
oh,
I was thinking, I said, well, if I go American League, he won't talk about the injury to O'Neill Cruz. And I'm telling you, Tony, not only is that a big injury,
huge,
but the one that is being overlooked right now is that injury to JT Brubaker. And the guy that was supposed to be the second guy in the rotation, he's out now for 14 to 16 months after undergoing Tommy John surgery. And that's a big blow to a team. Now, I thought the Pirates could make some noise, but they are not a team that has enough depth to overcome these kind of injuries. And we've seen it ever since they had a nice win yesterday, but we saw it, today. There's just no offense there. It's very sporadic, and they are a team probably above most in Major League Baseball that need to stay healthy. And when O'Neill Cruz out of the lineup, I mean, that is a massive loss for the Pirates.
Massive loss. Yeah, I remember Brubaker when he had that win at the Dodgers. That seemed to turn it around for him. Things to wake up. All right, Dana here on this on Royals here plus 148 against the Rangers. This one they have a start time here 8 Eastern time. All right, Dana, let's take a look over at Pick Dodge. Some nice action. Take a look at these results over the last 30 days. 1,434 units of profit, all documented over at Pick Dodge. So tonight we still have some baseball on the board. Few from hockey, as well as those 2 NBA games tonight. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Yeah, one game left on the card. The Dodgers game tonight. I'd like to have that left. I had 4 games today, sweating out this Boston run line game today. But one NBA is also up there. I thought we'd throw that up there too. Good information on that game. So 2 games left on the card. Get involved in that. And as always, I always put up there in my hype page every morning, get involved in that season-long Major League Baseball pass. You can get every selection that I throw out every day, at least 3 to 4 plays on a daily basis for less than $100 a month. That's a pretty good deal.
That's right, guys. Got a report here with Dana Lane over at Pick Dogs Premium. You see the great results last 30 days. Get that Major League Baseball pass up there right now. Very affordable pricing, and you could also save 15% off when you use the promo code PICK at checkout. It's another $100 off that. So go ahead and get signed up. Use the promo code PICK for that 15% off. You can access Dana's page by clicking the link you see there in the description. Click the All Cappers tab and get signed up. All right, Dana, as always, great having you on the show. Continue that success. We'll catch up with you again next week.
All the best to you, Tony. Thanks for having me.
You as well. Dan Lane here on the drive-thru. Guys, if you miss a pick, we're going to recap at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. It's up next. We'll get to the recap, as we said, after my play. So let's go ahead and put up my game information right now here. And I think we'll get set to roll here. It's going to come from the baseball tonight. We got the Giants and Dodgers going at it. We'll be looking here at the under total here, under 7.5 here with the Dodgers and the Giants. Mild temperatures there in San Francisco. It's 57 degrees. It's going to be windy there, but I don't think it's going to impact the carry of the ball here. Clayton Kershaw, as you know, off to a pretty good career, and of course a great season last year. Has allowed 5 earned runs in 12 innings, but he pitches really well here in San Francisco. Has pitched well against the Giants in his career. Alex Cobb is an interesting player here for San Francisco. His splits at home have been outstanding. When you look at his home road splits, he's pitched very well in San Francisco. We see that with a lot of these pitchers, right? They come from other teams. They may have had their struggles, but when they go into San Francisco, or they perform well, and that's something we've seen with Cobb at home against San Francisco has been outstanding. Again, I've had some question marks about this Dodger lineup. The bottom of the lineup, you saw Rojas in a big situation not come through. I think we're going to see a lot of that with this Dodger team. When they get to the bottom of the lineup, that's where the weakness is. And we'll be looking here at this one again with Kershaw and with Kershaw on the hill here against Cobb. We'll go under total. I do like some of this bullpens, the bullpen here from the Dodgers as well. They, as far as you get down to the end of the bullpen there, I think he can take it. He can get you down. Kershaw can take you to the 6th, 7th inning, hopefully. Maybe not the 7th, probably get him into the 6th. Then we should be looking good here. We'll look here at this Dodger Giants to go under total of 7.5 runs. All right, guys, over at Pick Dodge Premium, I've got 3-pack up there. Also, my best bet up on the day. Has been great over there. The $19 premium is on the board. Get on board. Remember the promo code PICK at checkout, and you'll save 15% off. You can also go longer term with a 3, 7, or 30-day all sports pass. Get all my premium plays for that period of time you select when you go to my Handicapper page and make that purchase. Let's continue on here on the drive-thru. Let's get to the recap. All right, we had Chris start us off here. He liked the Athletics and Orioles over total of 9 runs. Mitch was on the Thunder plus 5.5 here against the Pelicans. Al McMorty liked Raptors Bulls under 212.5. Wayne was on the Thunder Pelicans under 226.5. El Nino says Rays minus 125 against the Red Sox. Rod Stars Blues under 6.5. Dana on the Royals plus 148 against the Rangers. I will be here on the Dodgers Giants under 7.5. The one I like the most. Let's go with Al McMorty here. Raptors Bulls under 212.5 in that one. Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna make a switch here. That line opened 216, so I'll go Wayne Thunder Pelicans under 226. Now, Thunder having difficulty shooting the basketball. They like to play that muck it up defensive style. That's how we'll look there in that one. Thunder Pelicans will be the one I like the most. All right. I'd like to thank everybody here join us here on the drive-thru. Of course, all the our cappers in here who have joined us. Somebody wants a scoreboard update. Well, we got you some updates here with the scores before we leave you. We know right now Athletics now up 3-0 on the Orioles. So Athletics got that homer there up on the O's early on here in that one. In that one here, bottom of the first now. We got Red Sox and Rays. Rays up 3-0 here on Boston. And we've got the Tigers and Blue Jays about to get started here, top of the hour as well. So that gets you up to date here on some of the games here that are going off here tonight. Still 7,500, juiced heavily there at that minus 113 on that under. All right, guys, that's going to do it here for this edition here of the drive-thru. Guys, remember to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring in our cappers here from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place, and they'll get up their plays here for you in real time here for tomorrow's show. And don't forget, it always gets started every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. With the morning show, it's Mitch, it's Rod Zawacki, and it's also Chris, maybe 10:30, maybe 11. You guys make sure you set those notifications to find out. Don't forget Mitch's 7 picks in 5 minutes. Pain Tool show. His Nerfies now are up there, as well as David Racy's shorts. Javon will be back soon with the parlay of the video of the day, as well as Chris and Rod with that Puck Dogs video series in the NHL. Ron Romanelli's breakdown from Major League Baseball, every game on the board. Also, we have Jay's jam session from the NBA. Also, he's live. When there's NBA games, he's live with that at 4 p.m. each time. Also does the video drop for you there as well. Brad and Mills with that UFC show at the end of the week. So, guys, make sure you tune in for that. All right, that's going to do it for the show. Let's go ahead and bring in our cappers here from the show today. Going to wait. Goodbye, guys. You guys have a great evening, afternoon.